What is up, ladies and gents? It's Chewburger84 from the AlterNerdReality Network, and we are back with some Marvel Strike Force content. For those of you that celebrate it, happy Easter to you all. I didn't plan on making a video today. I've done a video that's launched every single day for the last week, which you've been watching, and thank you for that. The subscribers has been phenomenal. I feel like because of how much love you guys have shown me over the last week, I kind of owe you one. So what I'm going to do, and it's not for my own good, and you're going to see why in a couple of seconds. It's not for the good of my alliance. They might get a little bit cranky when they see this video. I want to teach you how to counter Ultron in Alliance War. Potentially, you can use the same team to counter in the arena as well, although a lot of the arena Ultron defense teams are going to be a little bit different. Now, as per always happens to content creators when you want to get something going, is that you're not recording when something awesome happens, and that's exactly what happened to me today. So I've been kicking around for a little while the idea of a team that could take down most of the generic defenses that the guys who are using Ultron are usually setting up with. Okay, they're normally using a Drax, they're normally using a Vision. Occasionally they'll use a Thanos, but we'll talk about why that's not the greatest option on the planet, even though right now there is a Thanos in my defensive team, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. What you are seeing on the screen behind me right now is the battle that I just had versus what is becoming a very generic defense setup for Ultron. Now you can see it has Minerva, we also have Drax, we have Vision, we have Ultron, and then we also have our Shield Trooper. It wasn't until after I actually took this team down that I realized their Ultron is better than mine. It actually made me upset to think about this, because I can tell by the amount of CP that that character has that he has put the T4s into all of his Ultron abilities, where I've only done it for 3 of mine. I've skipped the passive. As for right now, I think it's overkill, and I'm saving mine for Wakanda. Now, you might be asking yourself, why are they not using that Tech Nerva setup? The reality is, most of the Tech Nerva setup is better off on its own, and then you can use Ultron to be a real pain in the butt team and force the opposition to burn, like I had to, their Brotherhood team. So I've used this a couple of times against Ultrons with different variations, but this one by far was the one that kicked the most butt. Now, as you can see here, I walked out of that match pretty healthy. In fact, if it wasn't for the Ultron getting 1 ultimate off, even that Jugs would be nowhere near as hurt as he is now. So I'm going to apologize because there's no gameplay attached to this. This is the downside of being on holidays and on a temporary setup. I can't record things as quickly as I'd like to, but I'm going to explain to you as best as I can, because I want you to have this strategy today for your war. If you are the guys that are currently fighting us in Alliance War, this is my Easter gift to you. So I'm going to show you the team in a minute, but let's talk about why these 5. Okay, then I'll show you the team that I actually use so that you can talk about whether you think it's specific to the red stars that I have, for example. I know that's going to come up when it comes to my Venom, but I'm going to tell you why I honestly don't believe that matters. Let's talk about this. All right, Magneto. Why do we need him? The same reason we always need Magneto. You want to bunch everyone together from the opposition team, and we want to throw out that AoE blind. Very, very important. Why do we want Jugs? We want him to eat a phenomenal amount of damage. He is also one of the very few tanks that can stand up to multiple attacks and an ult from Ultron. Drax generally eats it first turn. Okay, he's generally going to cop that ult and usually die unless you have great red stars. Thanos does not stack up much better. Okay, now against this setup, you also want to have Pyro. Okay, you want as much bleed damage out there as physically possible. Having the T4 on his special is very, very good to have here. Although you could arguably get away with having the T4 on his ultimate and still get some benefits out of that. I like both. Okay. Now, one thing that's going to be very important here is getting the T4s up on Venom as a backup for his special. Not 100% necessary, but it does help. And then Doctor Strange, you don't need anything on him. In fact, you don't necessarily need a great Strange at all. You just need him to survive long enough to get his buff flip going to counter those boosts that they're going to no doubt have on an Ultron team, because you need to try and wreck as many of those deflects that they've currently got up on the first wave as humanly possible. Okay, so I'm going to show you these characters, but first of all, let me talk you through the battle. Okay, you are going to turn 1, use your mags to get the blind, same as every other Brotherhood battle ever. Okay, most of this opposition team is then going to take a few shots at you. They're all going to miss. They're a much faster team than you. They're all going to go before you. Okay, Strange, you're going to use, if they are in a boosted defensive AW mode, you're going to use your buff flip straight away. We need to get those deflects gone because we need everything else that we do for the rest of this match to land. Okay, now what's going to happen is you're going to get your Jugs to taunt. Now this is where the Venom plays the biggest role in this team. Alright, so Pyro's done his thing, Jugs taunted. Alright, so we've got plenty of bleed damage potential out there already. Then it's Venom's turn, and this is the key. Venom goes before Drax. Now, if they had a Groot on this team instead, he also goes before Groot. All right. Now, why that's important is that you want him after 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the Ultron, the Vision, the Minerva, and the Shield Trooper have all had their turns. They've lost their blind from Magneto. But Drax hasn't. This is the key. And Groot also would not have. What that means is you can then take that blind that is on the Drax, and then Venom can put it back on all of these guys. Now, the positioning that this gentleman has used was not a good idea. All right, not only has he got the Trooper on the edge, all right, so he's not getting the maximum amount of me hitting his Drax, but he would have been blinded anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Is that having it in the middle allows me to use Venom to put the blind back on all 5 of these guys. It won't hit the minions from Ultron, but that's not necessarily a big deal because they're powering up Ultron. We don't need to worry about that. We just need to stop Ultron from hitting us hard for now, all right? That means that all of them are stacked up with bleeds. They're all now heal blocked because Venom has heal blocked all of them. You've just spread all the bleeds from Pyro all across everyone else, and they are now pretty much hammered for a full another turn. Then it's just about picking them off one at a time. Now, if you can, you want to take Minerva first. A lot of people go after the Ultron. They want him to waste his revive first. It's not a great idea. If you can shut Ultron down, sometimes it's okay to kill the other 4, but you should make him a relative priority. In fact, he's squishier than you think, so he may actually die from the second wave of bleeds. How it goes after that is going to be very much up to you, but that key setup is what makes this work. Blind them with Magneto, burn them with Pyro, flip everything they've got with Doc Strange, get Jugs up to absorb that massive hit that Ultron is going to punch you with. Okay, it's not going to kill him. You've got a defense up, and Jugs has an incredible amount of armor. All right, he won't die. It's okay. And then use Venom to make them pay for using Drax or Groot. Now, Groot is arguably the better choice at that matchup because he's going to be able to get rid of some of the debuffs on that team. But because he can't clear all of them, that means that they're pretty much going to have some of those characters blinded anyway. The only way you could lose against that team is if they got super, super lucky and somehow the only debuffs that they removed were the heal blocks and the blinds. But because you have everything stacked over from Pyro, you've literally doubled all of those bleeds. The chance of that happening is very slim. So it's not 100% foolproof, but it is very reliable in the matches that I've had so far. I will get you gameplay footage of this, I promise you. I just have not faced Ultrons frequently enough yet. Although if you're following my guides for Fear the Darkness, you're definitely going to be in there soon. And I can't wait for that to happen. But I want to give you this gift now. Shut me down. Shut down the other Ultrons. And this way, the Alliance War should be more balanced. So let me show you my team. All right, because a lot of you are going to say, yeah, but you might have red stars and everything that I don't. And then that's why I can't win with it. Let me show you mine. And let me show you why, especially for the red stars on my Venom, it does not matter. Okay? So let's go through here. All right. We'll switch back across to have a look at our character select screen. Now, is it easier with a 6-star red Venom? Of course it is. all right? But let me tell you why it doesn't matter. It is all about this ability here, all right? Corruption. Attack the primary target for 180% damage. Doesn't even matter how much damage you're doing, to be honest. It's about getting the heal block and spreading all the negative effects from the primary target to all adjacent targets. It's not going to spread stun. We don't need to worry about that anyway. But it is going to spread the bleeds. It's going to give a heal block to a lot of the team. All right, you're going to get most of what you need to out on at least 4. If they've positioned their Drax properly on one end, you're only going to reblind 4 of them. That's not perfect, but you're going to shut down most of that team and get all those players off the board, which probably means it's going to end up being a dance between you and Ultron, 1v4. And although he's amazing, with the team that we're using right now, he won't beat that, okay? So yes, of course, my Venom's going to do more damage, but it's not the key. It's about spreading everything that Pyro and Strange have already set up. Like, I didn't even mention the fact that, you know, just spreading Pyro's bleeds is one thing, but spreading all of those things that Strange converted on the first turn, OMG, all right? You're going to get some of those being resisted, sure, but the ones that are resisted are going to disappear anyway. So Strange, I really, really like in this setup, and he's protected through Mag's Blind. So yeah, I'm not going to deny I have a Monster Venom, all right? But you don't need one this high. A tier 10 will be enough because he is there just for that ability alone, okay? Going through, we also have Pyro up here. Again, mine is a T13. I've been using him in Fear the Darkness, but you already know that. Now, I think this is kind of essential to get this done, but if you're running a Magneto team, you're probably using this anyway, and that is making sure that this bleed stacks for 2 turns, not just the 1 turn, okay? Because then you're going to not only have that spread for a couple of turns, but then when you get those split over and shared again from Drax to the rest of that team using Venom, that's another 2 turns for these bleeds as well. So the team is kind of going to die on the opposition squad because they do not have a Dispel that can get rid of enough bleeds, even with a group. The only way they could get around it is stacking something like a Ronin, a Kree Noble, or let's say a JJ would be a great option as well. All right, but they're not going to do that. If they do, they're wasting a very, very big slot. Every team is counterable. Ultron is no exception. For this guy, that's the only one that you need. Pyrotechnics leveled up to T4. Having Firecrafting is great, just in case you're worried about extra buffs going back onto Ultron after that first turn. Shut him down. All right, use that on Pyro's second turn. All right, once the Ultron has resurrected, obviously he's shaken off all the bleeds that way. Just block him, because if he does not get that steam train rolling, he's going to die. All right, best way to do that, throw a Disrupt down on him, okay? You might even be able to use a Miles as another way of getting around this, throwing a Disrupt. Just nowhere near as reliable for me. I much prefer Pyro because he can do both. And then auto heal blocking with his passive as well, because Mags is on the board. This is just a wicked combo, guys. All right, moving along. I wish I had the gameplay footage. I apologize. I mean, I could wait a week, but I want you to have it now, okay? Let's keep on looking. We have to go down a little bit further. Where is my Jugs? Everyone knows I love Jugs. People say that about Chewbacca all the time. All right, so let's have a look at our Jugs. He's tier 11, no T4s. I'm not going to lie, would kind of love to have this up right now. The extra 60% damage to primary and adjacent, the T4 on his charge, that would be beautiful. Do you need it? No. Does it help? Yes. You do want to use the charge probably on his first turn because you just want to try and make them bleed out much faster. You can wait the extra turn, but you do run risks of them pulling off some weird counter. You're better off just bleeding them out early. Hitting this on his turn 2 is a very, very cool way of doing that. Okay, so Juggernaut, nothing too special there. No T4s, only at tier 11 at this point, and 3 red stars. So by no means a rock star. Still good, but not a rock star. Magneto, where art thou? Here he is. Oh my god, how have I not even leveled this up to tier 7? What a rookie. It's called Not Enough Gold. I'm saving all of that for Wakanda. Again, no T4s. I know that's very controversial for a lot of Brotherhood users out there. A lot of people like the T4 on this guy. Just don't think it's necessary most of the time. The extra 10% health does help. In Alliance War, it probably is a lot better than I'm giving it credit for, because in Alliance War, you've got so many other health boosts that are triggering throughout that game mode. yeah, it's probably worth it. The extra focus as well, I guess, for Brotherhood. I definitely wouldn't argue against it. I don't think it's a bad T4 at all. I haven't needed it to do most of what I need Brotherhood to do. I'm saving that for other teams that just, you have T4s that are essential. It's good. It's great. Do you require it? Not necessarily. And only tier 10 with this guy. All right. And I can't believe how much of a scrub I am. I'm so tempted just to push that rank 500 right now. Yeah, tier 10. 6 yellow stars and 4 red stars is what I have on the mags that I've used in this team. And that leaves one bad boy left. We have to scroll down because he has been unloved by me as well. Look at this. I still haven't even T7'd him. There's a dog going off in the background. That's exactly what you want for these things. So, no T4s available on him either. Now, you could go through the Winds of Watum. You'd get much more benefit out of this versus Ultrons going forward. I believe that this T4 has gotten a lot more power with it now because of the fact that we now have an Ultron. I think that this may become necessary. It may become necessary going forward. I mean, it's going to remove effects that weren't flipped. So getting rid of them is good, but guaranteeing that they all flip with so many darn buffs is going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. So I'm debating doing this myself. I think I should probably get him up to rank 7 first. I've got more than enough shards. He's only tier 3 red stars. A good pull. Could be better, of course. But by no means an overpowered character. And he's only 65 tier 10. So, I mean, this team you don't have to invest a lot into. I know that the Venom that I use is carrying a lot of the weight, but to be honest, just the overall bleed damage of this team, most of the work really is being done by the Mags Blind, the Pyro Burns, and then of course the Venom spreading everything. So look, I apologize that it's not the quality that you're used to. I apologize there's no gameplay footage, but I want you to have this team. I want you to go forth and make all those whales and krakens like myself pay for having the tenacity to go through and have an Ultron already. I hope you've enjoyed this content. Please leave any questions you have down below. Make sure you stop by and download the Strikeforce Masters Launch podcast, available every Tuesday. There'll be an episode going out live tomorrow at the time that this video is going live. Make sure you check out the AlterNerdReality website. It will be alternerdreality.com, available in the middle of May. So please bear with us. We've got some great new content coming there. But until then, I hope you have a good day and I'll see you soon. Cheers.